One of the major ways that we're told to escape poverty and some of the difficulties that they engage in human existence here in America is to join the military and become a model part of society. But in some situations, regardless of how hard you try to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, there are some situations that do not give you enough privilege to escape the troubles that are enforced upon people in America by white supremacy, specifically black people. This is the story of Robert Fulton, a U.S. airman who was shot and killed in Florida on May 3rd, 2024. The lawyers who are handling the case initially provided a witness report alleging that the police had pulled up to the wrong house, which the police is currently disputing. It is important to note that Mr. Fullman was not living too far from the army base where he was stationed. The deputy who shot him, who the police have not provided a name for as of yet, has since been placed on administrative leave. As usual, whenever these kind of things happen, we see that the police usually provide a level of protection for the offender in this particular situation. Okaloosa County Sheriff Eric Aden said the shooting was being investigated by Florida Department of Law Enforcement and the state attorney's office. Mr. Aden promised to provide transparency and accountability, but added these investigations take time. Well, how much time do you need for something that you have video evidence for? But I want to assure you that we are not hiding, covering up, or taking any actions that would result in a rushed judgment for Mr. Fortson or our deputy. There's no judgment for Mr. Fortson. He's deceased. He deserves, and we demand, justice. The sheriff showed a 4-minute video taken from the body cam worn by deputy who fired the fatal shots. The clip showed police arriving at Fortson's apartment complex, being led to an elevator by a witness who said she had heard fighting coming from an apartment. The deputy then approached the front door alone, knocked twice, saying that he was a member of the, quote here, sheriff's office. And it's a little bit cut off here, but the second he opened the door, he was shot. It's over there. I don't have it, Fortson said as he laid on the floor. A lawyer for the Fortson family, Ben Crum, said in a news conference on Thursday that Fortson was the best America had to offer. He was a patriot. He was a U.S. airman, special operations. He was fighting for our way of life. No, your way of life. He was fighting for everybody. His mother broke down crying as Mr. Crumps recounted the moments before the airman was shot. My baby was my everything. It's Mother's Day. This is a black mother who has been deprived of the joy of her son. It's Mother's Day. Crump said at the time of the shooting, Fortson was on a video call with a friend who described what she heard to his family's legal team. The friend said that the airman heard a knock on his apartment door and asked who was there but received no response. He then heard a second very aggressive knock but did not see anyone when he looked through the peephole. It was at this point he, out of concern, went and grabbed his legally owned weapon. Legally owned, like he had it registered and everything. He's a member of the U.S. Air Force. As Fortson returned to his living room, the witness said police bursted to the front door, saw the resident was armed, and shot him 6 times. Mr. Crum said witness believed the officers were in the wrong apartment as Fortson was alone at the time with no disturbance at his residence. The sheriff on Thursday denied that officers had gone to the wrong address. In an earlier statement, the sheriff's office said the deputy reacted in self-defense after he encountered a 23-year-old man armed with a gun and after the deputy had identified himself as law enforcement. Speaking to reporters, Mr. Crum accused police of trying to justify an unjustifiable excessive use of force. Fortson was assigned to the 4th Special Operations Squadron according to U.S. Air Force and entered active duty in November of 2019. According to Mr. Crum, he enlisted in the military after graduating from high school in Atlanta, Georgia, with honors. Mr. Crum, a civil rights lawyer based in Florida, has worked on multiple cases, including those for George Floyd, Tyree Nichols, Breonna Taylor, Hamudu, I cannot pronounce that name properly. I apologize because it's cut off by my recording symbol here, and Trayvon Martin. These are things that these are cases that have been very prominent since the Black Lives Matter movement. Like actually some of the things that acted as the catalyst for the Black Lives Matter movement. Words I have to say in about this particular situation are unfortunately not allowed on TikTok, but I will say Black Lives Matter and all cops are bastards. And this is just another reason why we will never accept that all lives matter in America, at least until Black Lives Matter.